Hey y'all, this is Derek Stark back with you for my fifth video. And today I am going to talk about something that I believe is the most important precursor to success in this life. And I know a lot of times we hear about how intelligence and abilities and skills are really the foundation to becoming successful in this world. And while they are undoubtedly really crucial to the process, I don't think they're the strongest predictor of success. And there was also a book by Angela Duckworth called Grit that came out relatively recently, and that talks about how our passion plus our perseverance really equals what they call grit, and that grit is actually the most uh, strong predictor of success. And she looked at cadets in the army and professional athletes and people who work in sales. And while I totally agree that resilience is also super crucial, I still think there's one other piece that is not talked about nearly enough, and that is habits. What habits do you have in your life? What solid habits do you have? What habits are holding you back from becoming who you want to become, and ultimately who this world needs you to become? You know, for me, it's not easy to wake up at 6 or 7 in the morning. It's actually really challenging. I'm a night owl, um, but I notice that the mornings that I do wake up earlier than my body tells me I should, that I get more done. I accomplish so much more throughout the day, and then I'm actually tired at night so I can fall asleep and repeat this process over again. And the same goes for exercise. A lot of times we don't feel like going to the gym. We don't want to go for that run, but if we do, it gets those juices flowing and we're able to focus more when we're at work. We're more productive, we're happier, we're smiling at people, and that energy is so contagious. And it all boils down to these habits that when we can start forming them and building them, they say it takes 21 days to build a habit. Um, you know, our lives can change when we do that. So, another habit that I used to get into when I was really working on my spiritual life is I would wake up in the morning and I'd read the Bible, and that would just kind of get me started off on the right foot. And while I no longer identify as a Christian, I wake up every morning and I read these daily meditations by Ryan Holiday, and it's really it has to do with stoicism, and there's always a good word. Squirrels. There's always a good word that can kind of motivate me or just something that I can work on throughout the day, and it's just really fun and something that I can look forward to in the mornings on top of my coffee. And even wearing our seatbelts. I always used to wear my seatbelt every single time I got in the car. It was a habit. I didn't even think about it. And then once in a while, I started getting a little lax. If I was just driving to campus, maybe I wouldn't wear my seatbelt. And then the next thing you know, I'm driving from Wisconsin to Kansas, and I go the whole trip without wearing my seatbelt. Well, you know what? If somebody T-bones us, it may not be my fault or your fault at all, but things can happen, and because of these habits, you know, it could be life or death in situations like that. And even when I think back to my time in undergrad, I spent a lot of nights, smoking marijuana, and the profound effects that that had on me, not only with my inability to get out of bed the next morning, but my inability to really function at full capacity in that next day, and the lack of motivation, and spending my entire weekends at the bars and emptying emptying my time and my wallet there. They're just such bad habits that you don't really think about it at the time because you're trying to make the most of your life. You want that extra hour of sleep. You don't have time to do that little reading or go for a half hour run. And but when we make time for these positive things, our lives change. I promise you that. Your life will change. Habits, they really do, they build momentum. You wake up a little earlier. You have time to make that healthy breakfast. You sneak in a little exercise. You get some reading done. You go to work. You've already had 3 hours of day. You're wide awake. You're firing on all cylinders. Maybe you wind up getting that promotion, that raise. You meet that guy or girl, your dream husband or wife. You become more attractive to friends and classmates. And I really believe in the momentum of habits. And even today, I wanted to watch basketball. I'm all about March Madness. Um, but I got off the couch. I went for a little run, got a few miles in, came back here, and kind of wanted to elaborate on some thoughts that I was having during that run. And that's just another thing is I'm trying to build a habit of making these YouTube videos. I want to inspire people. I want to help share the little knowledge that I do have with the world. And this is just a perfect example of how certain habits of exercise and routines like this can kind of trickle into one another. So that's all I've got for you today. I really appreciate you spending some time with me. Once again, I'm Derek Stark. You can follow me on Twitter, Instagram, um, and I would love if you subscribed and liked this video. It would mean the world to me. So thank you very much, and I will see you soon.